Anyone can become an alcoholic. Literally anyone. You can drink your way into dependency slowly but surely without even noticing it. Nobody is immune, not him, not her, not me, not even you, username. Parties, cocktails, alcohol, it's all fun and games, and we do it here from time to time, but nobody wants to wake up one day and realize they've crossed the line into addiction. That's why today I want to talk about how not to become an alcoholic, the reasons why alcoholism happens, how to spot the warning signs in yourself and your friends, and what you can do about it. I'm not here to shame anyone, preach or tell you never to drink. We're all grown-ups here, we make our own choices, and we're responsible for them. I just want to share some useful, maybe even interesting info that I hope will help someone. Personally, I'm all for culture of mindful drinking, for listening to your body, and for knowing when to stop. And I need you all healthy, happy, and fun not only after a few drinks, but also sober. Take me, for example. I'm almost always in good mood, positive, full of energy, thanks to cocaine. That's a joke. And by the way, important disclaimer, I may be Dr. Cork, but I'm not a medical doctor. Everything I'll say today is based on everyday life experience, not medical expertise. If you feel like you might be developing an addiction to alcohol or anything else, go see a professional immediately. This video isn't about treatment, it's about providing the information. But before you call your local addiction specialist, hit that like button and subscribe to my YouTube. According to the World Health Organization, alcoholism is any pattern of drinking that leads to problems in behavior, physical health or mental health. So not just about drinking too much, it's a disease when you can't stop even if it's wrecking your body, your job and your family. This can happen to anyone, but some people are especially at risk. There are three big categories of reasons why alcoholism develops: physical, psychological and social. Physical causes. That's about your body and your genes. Around 50% of the risk of alcoholism is genetic. If there are alcoholics in your family, your chances go up 4 to 5 times. Scientists know of over 100 genes that affect how alcohol is processed and how your brain reacts to it. For example, if one identical twin is prone to addiction, there's a 60% chance that the other will be too. But you don't have to be a child of alcoholics to become one. Variations in enzymes like ADH or ALDH also play a role. Some people, especially many Asians, have a mutation in ALDH2 that makes them flush bright red and feel sick from even a little alcohol. It's like a built-in warning system that lowers their risk. On the other hand, if ADH breaks down alcohol too efficiently, you don't feel drunk right away, so you drink more, and dependency sneaks up on you. Alcohol also messes with dopamine, amplifying pleasure. With long-term drinking, your brain receptors dull, and you feel bad unless you drink again. That's the vicious circle, basically straight-up drug addiction. Psychological causes. This is when alcohol becomes your personal therapist for your inner demons, but eventually turns into a demon itself. As they say, alcohol doesn't give you the answer, it just helps you forget the question. The classic example is chronic stress. You're always on edge, you drink, the anxiety dulls, then BAM! It wears off, the stress is back, so you drink again. Round and round it goes. Mental health disorders like depression, anxiety or PTSD double or triple the risk. About 40% of alcoholics have a mental illness. Alcohol feels like self-medication, but it only makes things worse. Personality traits also play a role: low self-esteem, impulsiveness, weak willpower. The bottle looks like a quick escape. And of course, childhood trauma. Somewhere between 30 to 50% of alcoholics have some kind of painful childhood story. Like that guy who grew up in a rough industrial town, in a really dysfunctional family, but fought his way to the top, graduated with honors, was admitted to Oxford, and only then drank himself to death. That's a joke, by the way. It's not a real tragic story of some guy, but it could be. Social causes. Friends, culture, traditions. Kids of drinking parents are 2 to 4 times more likely to drink themselves, just by copying behavior. Then there's peer pressure. Come on, don't let me drink alone. We've got to drink for that. Don't wimp out now, and so on. Learning to say no is crucial, not just for drinking, but in life in general. By the way, can you say no? No? Cultural norms matter too. In countries where drinking is tied into every celebration, the risk is higher. Russia is the obvious example, but the US has its traditions too. Starting young is another factor. Drinking before age 15 raises the risk of alcoholism 3 to 5 times, and it makes sense, the younger brain is more vulnerable. And of course, poverty, unemployment, loneliness. Alcohol becomes a cheap mood booster. During COVID pandemic, when people were locked up at home by the governments, alcohol-related deaths in some countries spiked by 25%. Stress, isolation, people turned to the bottle. To the bottle of water. Not water. Bottle of vodka. So, genetics, stress, social environment, all of that can push you down the wrong path. But don't panic yet. Let's talk about how to spot the signs before it's too late. I've seen a lot of people at different stages of alcoholism, and I've noticed 3 major red flags. Then I googled a bit and found 2 more, so let's say 5. If you see 1 or 2 of these in yourself, I'd start doing something about it. Number 1. Regularity. The daily beer after work, the glass of wine with dinner every evening, the tradition of drinking with friends every Friday or Saturday. It's not just about the amount, but the routine. Your body builds tolerance, and psychologically, alcohol becomes a ritual. The really dangerous part is that it all creeps up on you so smoothly, you don't even notice. Number 2. Personality changes. This is usually more visible to others than to yourself. It's not just getting funny and dumber as expected when drunk. It's when suppressed traits come out. Bitterness, anger, aggression, or total apathy. Alcohol lowers your brain's brakes, so hidden emotions burst out. If you notice you can't control yourself while drinking, that's a red flag. Personally, I avoid people who change character when drunk. Luckily, none of my friends are like that, but if it's you, dig for the cause and fix it. Nobody's gonna do it for you. Number 3. The hangover cure drink. This one I never understood. The last thing I want to do after a night of drinking is more alcohol. Give me broth, water, sleep, fresh air, but no hair of the dog. If you crave that, it's already a sign of withdrawal syndrome. At first it might be irritability without alcohol, but if you need a morning shot, time to sound the alarm. Bonus signs. Number 4. Drinking in secret. Sneaking shots in the garage, hiding bottles, pre-gaming alone. That's shame and dependency at work. Fun tip. If you drink too much, spread it out with different people so no one realizes you are an alcoholic. And number 5, when alcohol starts messing with your work, relationships or hobbies and you keep drinking anyway. That's a serious sign. If you see yourself in this list, don't freak out, but rather take it as a reason to make changes. Now the big question, how not to become an alcoholic? Everyone's situation is different, but here are some general principles. Change your mindset. Alcohol isn't your helper or your life value, it's just one type of entertainment, like video games or football, except way easier to get addicted to. Some people like self-help books, like Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Drinking, others keep diaries to track why they reach for a drink, stress, boredom and so on. You can even take a genetic test to see if you are predisposed to alcoholism, or just ask your mom and dad. Set strict rules. WHO recommends no more than 14 standard drinks per week for men, 7 for women, with at least 2 to 3 alcohol-free days. A standard drink is about 12 ml of pure ethanol, roughly 30 ml of spirits, 150 to 200 ml of wine, or 350 to 400 ml of beer. Use tracking apps if you want, like Drink Less, or make your own rules. No booze on weekdays, only max 2 glasses on weekends, and never drink alone. Replace the habit. Alcohol often feels boredom or stress, swap it with something else: sports, bass guitar, painting, cross-stitching, even non-alcoholic cocktails or beer. Personally, if I had to choose between football and cocktails, I'd become an alcoholic immediately. I hate football that much. It doesn't matter if it's soccer or American football, but you're not me. Here's a joke. Do you sell bicycles? No. Rollerblades? Sir, this is a liquor store. Fine, give me a bottle. God knows I tried to get into sports. Mind your social life. If you're not confident you can say no, avoid bars and parties where drinking is the main event. Have excuses ready, drive your car, plan something for the morning after. And if you're worried about your teenager, pay attention to their friends. Social circles matter a lot at that age, and talk to them openly. Trust is key. If you've already crossed the line, if you crave alcohol, if you want to cure hangovers with more booze, it's time to seek help. Reach out to loved ones, a psychologist, or Alcoholics Anonymous. Hotlines exist too. In the USA, for example, there's National Helpline, 1-800-662-HELP, and I'm sure there's something similar in your country. Bottom line, cocktails and alcohol are for joy, not for routine. Everything in moderation. I'm not a fan of extreme solutions like total abstinence, locking yourself in a cage, or conversely, drinking at every meal. The key is listening to yourself and finding what works for you. For you. Username. Some people, like me, can drink occasionally without sliding into addiction. Honestly, off camera I barely drink at all. Life's already fun enough. That's why I look so great at 72. Maybe it's genetics, maybe it's luck. Some people go off the rails after one shot. Everyone is different. On the other hand, I know plenty of old alcoholics, but not a single old vegan. Just saying. So once again, decide what works for you, learn to say no, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. Thanks for watching, you're free to go now. До свидос. Oh, and buy my cocktail t-shirt, join the YouTube membership and pay